Today we are going to solve O-Level Physics 5054 Paper 1 Variant 1 May-June 18 and questions from 21 to 40. From 1 to question number 20 we have already solved. Now we have to start from question number 21. The diagrams show four identical cans with their outside surfaces either polished silver or painted dull black. Each can contains the same volume of water initially at 80 degrees centigrade. After 5 minutes in a cool room, which can contains the coolest water? Here we have 4 cans A, B, C and D. In C and D there is a lid, so we can say in C and D there is no evaporation. Evaporation is a cooling process in which the remaining liquid or the remaining water cools down. So we can say the water in the can A and in can B will be cooled down more as compared to C and D. Now in A, the can is polished dull black. In B, it is polished silver. Black is good emitter of heat, so it will emit more heat as compared to B. So we can say the water in the can A will be coolest water. So option A is the correct answer. Question number 22. The diagram shows two divergent rays of light from an object O being reflected from a plane mirror. At which point is the image formed? Here we have a plane mirror. Here we have an object. Two rays are coming from the object O. One ray is striking at point A and it is reflected back on the same path. One ray is striking at this point and it will be rebound. It will be reflected back in the same medium obeying the laws of reflection. Now these two rays cannot meet, so we have to proceed these two rays on the other side, on the back side of the mirror. Now these two rays seems to be coming from this point B, so the image will be formed at point B and this image will be a virtual image. So we can say at point B the image will be formed, so our correct answer is B. Question number 23. Which statement is correct? Option A. Total internal reflection only occurs when light travels from air into glass. No. Total internal reflection can occur when ray passes from one medium to another. It is not necessary that it should move from air into a glass. B. The larger the refractive index of glass, the larger is the critical angle. No, there is no such relation with the refractive index of glass. Option C. When total internal reflection occurs, the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Yes, this option is correct. It is topic of total internal reflection. Here, this is incident ray and this is reflected ray. This reflected ray is total internally reflected ray, or this phenomena or this process is called total internal reflection. Here the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So our option C is the correct option, that when the ray is total internally reflected, the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So option C is the correct option. Question number 24. The diagram shows the path of two rays from the top of the object through a lens. It is a divergent lens. Here we have an object. Two rays are moving from the object O and are passing from the divergent lens. The object is viewed from the opposite side of the lens to the object. How does the image compare with the object? Okay, it is a divergent lens, so the rays will be divergent or moves away from each other. Now these two rays cannot meet at a point, so we have to proceed this ray on the other side of the lens. Now two rays seems to be meet at this point, so the image will be formed at this point. And the image formed here will be a virtual image. Now this image is erect. It is in the same direction as of the object and smaller in size. Now we read our options. Option A, larger and inverted. No, it is not inverted. It is not larger. B, larger and same way up. Yes, it is same way up but not larger. So option B is incorrect. Option C is smaller and inverted. Yes, it is smaller but not inverted. In option D is smaller and the same way up. Yes, it is the correct option. It is smaller than the object and same way up. It is in the same direction as that of object. So option D is the correct option. Question number 25. A young person with healthy ears can hear a range of frequencies. What is the approximate range of the frequencies? Audible range for human being is 20 cycle per second to 20,000 cycle per second, or we can say the range is 20 Hertz to 20,000 Hertz. So correct option is option D. Question number 26. The diagram shows a loudspeaker that is producing a continuous sound wave of frequency 200 Hz in air. Which diagram best shows how the sound wave causes a molecule at P to move during 1 over 200 seconds? Okay, here is a loudspeaker. Here is a diaphragm of the loudspeaker. The diaphragm of the loudspeaker, it moves to and fro in x-axis. So direction will be along x-axis and along negative x-axis. It will move to and fro. It will vibrate to and fro. So direction will be as shown in A. Direction will be in the x-axis and negative x-axis. Other options are not possible. Question number 27. The diagram shows an alarm system. Here it is a battery P, it is iron core, it is iron armature, it is a pivot. Okay, it is a bell. What is asked? What happens when battery P is disconnected? Okay, here we have a battery, it is connected. When the battery is connected, there is electrical energy or electrical current. Because of this electrical current or electrical energy, this iron core is magnetized. Okay, now this battery P is removed. When the battery P will be removed, this iron core will lose its magnetism, and this iron core, because of gravity, it will fall down on the iron armature. When it will fall down on the armature, this iron armature will touch this point. When this iron armature touch this point, this circuit will be completed. And when the circuit will be completed, this bell will start ringing. Now we will read our options. What happens when battery P is disconnected? Iron armature falls. This iron armature falls. This iron core, first this iron core will fall, and when it will strike with the iron armature, this iron armature will fall down on this point. So we can say iron armature will fall down or it falls. And what will happen? This circuit will be completed and the bell will start ringing. So we can say iron armature falls and bell rings. So correct option is option A. Question number 28. An electric current in a wire is into the page. Which diagram shows the shape and direction of the magnetic field around the wire? Here we have four options A, B, C and D. Now we have to check which option is the correct one. Okay, the topic is related with the right hand grip rule. What we have to do in the right hand grip rule? Just we have to hold the wire that is carrying the current in our right hand. Direction of the thumb represents the direction of the current, and curling of the finger shows the direction of magnetic field. Now here current is in upper direction, so curling of the finger is shown in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, now here current is into the paper. Into the paper means current is downward. When the current is downward, direction of the magnetic field will be in the opposite direction. As we have checked here, it will be in the clockwise direction. Here current up, magnetic field is anti-clockwise. When the current is down, direction of the magnetic field will be clockwise. Now the possible options are A and C. A and C are the possible options. Now in A, the magnetic lines of force are at equal distance, and here in C we are looking near the wire, it is closer. When we are moving away from the wire, the distance is increasing. So option C is the correct answer. Why? Because near the wire the magnetic field will be strong, and when we will move away from the wire, the magnetic field strength will be decreased. So option C is the correct option. Question number 29. A copper wire X has resistance R and the copper wire Y has twice the length and half the cross-section area X. What is the resistance of Y? Okay, we have studied a formula R is equal to rho L over A, where this R is for resistance, this rho is called resistivity, this L is length of the wire, this A is cross-sectional area of the wire. Now here we have increased the length to twice. Before the length was L, now the length is 2L. Area was before A, now the area is half, now the area is A over 2. Now when we will solve this one, we will get 4 times of rho L over A. Rho L over A is equal to R, so we can say the resistance in the wire Y will be equal to 4R, so correct option is D. Question number 30. In the circuit shown, the temperature of the room and the amount of light affect the current. Okay, here in the circuit we have a thermistor and an LDR. Okay, what is asked here? Under which conditions is the current in the circuit is largest? We have to find out the condition when the current will be largest in the circuit. Okay, first we check the conditions for the thermistor and LDR. In thermistor, with the increase in temperature, resistance decreases, and with the decrease in resistance, current is increased. So we can say in thermistor, with the increase in temperature, current increases. In LDR, what happens? When light falls on the LDR, resistance decreases, and with the decrease in resistance, current will be increased. So more light means less resistance and more current. So with the increase in light, the current will be increased in LDR. Now we read our options. Under which condition is the current in the circuit the largest? Temperature high, yes. If we will increase the temperature in thermistor, resistance will be decreased, and with the decrease in resistance, current will be increased. So we can say if temperature is high, then current will be more. Now what about the amount of light? Here we have checked in the LDR, more light, less resistance, more current. So we can say in bright light, there will be more current. So our option A is the correct option. That with the increase in temperature and with the increase of amount of light, current will be increased. Question number 31. An electrical appliance is plugged into a socket in the wall. The plug contains a fuse. What is the main purpose of the fuse? A. To earth the appliance. B. To earth the plug. C. To protect the user from electric shock. D. To protect the wiring from overheating. Okay, what is the purpose of a fuse? When a fault develops and current is high in the wire, the fuse blows out and breaks the circuit. So option D is the correct option to protect the wiring from overheating. Question number 32. A horizontal beam of electrons passes between the two poles of a magnet. Okay, it is two poles of the magnet, north and south poles. Here is a beam of electron passing in between the poles. In which direction is the beam deflected? It is asked when it will pass through the magnetic field, what will be the direction of these electron beams, where it will be deflected. Option A, into the page. Option B, out of the page. Option C, towards the north pole. Option D, towards the south pole. Okay, the topic is related with the Fleming's left-hand rule. First we check what is Fleming's left-hand rule. It is our left hand. In the left hand, this first finger, it shows the direction of the magnetic field. This second finger, it represents the direction of electrical current. One thing you have to remember, that this direction is for conventional current. Suppose if the current is because of electron, then the direction will be in the opposite direction. Direction of the current will be on this side. This side is shown because of the conventional current. Conventional current means current due to proton. And this thumb is the direction of the resultant force because of magnetic and electrical forces. Okay, now here in our question we have an electron beam, so we can say in our case this first finger is direction of magnetic field, this second finger in the opposite direction of second finger is the direction of flow of electron, and this thumb is the direction of the resultant of these two forces. Now just we have to apply the Fleming left hand rule, and by using Fleming left hand rule you can easily check that the direction of the beam, or we can say resultant of these two forces, will be out of the page. Out of the page means it is coming towards us. Okay, so correct option is option B. Question number 33. Which graph shows the voltage output V against time t for an AC generator? Okay, in AC generator, the waveform are shown here. This is the wave generated in an AC generator. This half cycle, it is positive, and this half cycle is negative, and combination of these two is called one complete wave. So what will be the shape? Shape will be as shown in option D. So D is the correct option. Question number 34. A loudspeaker and a microphone are placed in front of a wall. Here we have a loudspeaker and a microphone, and here is a wall. The loudspeaker makes a sound which is detected by the microphone. Okay, a sound is produced from the loudspeaker. It travels and strikes the wall, then rebounds and come back to microphone, and it is detected by the microphone. The microphone is connected to an oscilloscope which is set so that each division on the screen represents 0.01 second. The microphone detects the original sound and an echo. Okay, here we have an oscilloscope. On the oscilloscope, this wave is sound produced by the loudspeaker, and it is the sound that is detected by the microphone. And the time taken to reach from the loudspeaker to the microphone is equal to 0.08 second. Why 0.08 second? It is given here 1 square is equal to 0.01 second. So we can say, we can count here. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares. So we can say 1 square is equal to 0.01 second. So 8 square will be equal to 0.08 seconds. Okay, this 0.08 second is time taken to complete this distance from loudspeaker to wall and from wall to microphone. For complete this distance, the time taken is 0.08 second. Now, if we consider the time that is taken from loudspeaker to the wall, it will be half of 0.08 second, and half of 0.08 second will be equal to 0.04 second. So we can say the time taken to reach the wall is equal to 0.04 second. Okay, what is the distance between the loudspeaker and the wall? Here we have to find out the distance between the loudspeaker and the wall. To calculate the distance, we will use the formula V is equal to S over T. We can say S will be equal to V into T. Now V is the velocity of sound. Velocity of sound is given 300 meter per second. It is 300 meter per second. And time taken to move from the loudspeaker to the wall is equal to 0.04 second. This time is equal to 0.04 second. So what we have to do? Just we have to multiply 0.04 by 300 to get the answer. The answer is 12 meters. So we can say the wall is at a distance of 12 meters from the loudspeaker. So option B is the correct option. Question number 35. The circuit diagram shows a variable resistor R connected in parallel to the lower half of a potential divider. Okay, here we have two voltmeters, one V1, second V2. Here one potential divider is connected here. Okay, the resistance R increases. Now we are increasing this resistance R. What happens to the 2 voltmeter reading? What will happen to V2 and V1? Okay, when we will increase the resistance R, with the increase in resistor R, voltage V2 will be increased. Why? Because we know V is equal to IR. If I is constant, current is constant, then with the increase of resistance, voltage will be increased. So we can say with the increase in this resistance R, this voltage V2 will be increased. Now voltage of the battery is constant. If it is increasing, then this V1 will be decreased. So we can say V2 will increase and V1 will decrease. Now we read our options. Okay, in option B, it is given V1 decreases and V2 increases. V2 increases with the increase this R, and when V2 will increase, this V1 will decrease. So our correct option is option B. V1 decreases and V2 increases. Question number 36. Thin aluminum foil is used in cooking. The diagram shows a system used to control the thickness of aluminum foil being made in a factory. Okay, first we read the options. What is the most suitable radioactive source for the system? A. Beta, half-life with 1 hour. B. Beta, 6 years. In C and D, gamma with half-life of 1 year, 1 hour and 6 years. Okay, the topic is related to radioactivity. First we check. Okay, in the topic of nuclear radiation, you have studied about alpha, beta and gamma radiations, and in alpha, beta, gamma radiations you have studied that alpha rays are stopped just by a piece of paper. Beta rays can penetrate the paper and can be stopped by aluminum foil. Gamma rays pass the paper, pass the aluminum, pass the lead. Now here we have to check the thickness of aluminum foil. Now what we have observed here that beta rays are stopped by aluminum foil. Gamma rays passes through the aluminum foil. So gamma rays cannot be used to detect the thickness. We can use beta rays to check the thickness of aluminum foil. So our possible options are A and B, beta rays. C and D are not possible. So we have to check which one is better choice, A or B. Now in A, half-life is given 1 hour and in B, half-life is given 6 years. If the half-life of the radioactive substance is 1 hour, then after a 1 hour it will be half. Then again after 1 hour it will be half, and maybe after 24 hours or in a day, this radioactive substance is so small, so less that it cannot be used to detect the aluminum foil. So the best option is option B. Source is beta and half-life source should be 6 years. So option B is the correct option. Question number 37. Which of alpha, beta and gamma radiations are waves? Okay, you have studied three types of radiations, alpha, beta and gamma. Alpha and beta are material particles, whereas gamma rays are electromagnetic waves. So our answer is option C, gamma only, because alpha and beta are material particles. Question number 38. A radioactive isotope of hydrogen has a half-life of 12 years. A sample contains 40 million atoms of this isotope. How many atoms of this isotopes are left after 24 years? Okay, we have a radioactive substance and it has number of atoms 40 million. After 12 years, its half-life is given 12 years. So after 12 years, number of atoms will be only 20 million. Then again after 12 years, number of atoms will be half of this 20 million, means 10 million. So we can say in 12 plus 12 means 24 years, the number of atoms will be equal to 10 million. So option B is the correct option. Question number 39. How many nucleons are in one neutral atom of krypton isotope? Okay, here this 84 is called mass number or nucleon number. So nucleon number or mass number of krypton is 84. Question number 40. A radioactive nucleus is represented as uranium, atomic number is 92 and mass number is 230. Okay, which row represents another isotope of the same element? Okay, isotope means same atomic number but different mass number. So we have to check, we have to find out another atom which has same atomic number 92 but different mass number. Now here number of proton in nucleus, number of protons or number of electrons is called atomic number. So we can say number of proton in nucleus means here it is given atomic number. So atomic number 90, 91, 92 and 93. Now as discussed, what is meant by isotope? Same atomic number. So same atomic number means 92. So option C is the correct option. Atomic number should be same but mass number can be different. So option C is the correct option. Okay, today we have completed this 5054 paper 1 variant 1 May June 18. Okay, thank you very much.